Hello there, and welcome to the Star Wars Guys YouTube channel where the Force is family. I am Master Paul.
And I am Epic John.
And I brought my youngest brother on to do this video with me because we're going to be talking about a game very special to both of us, Super Mario 64. It was one of the first games that both of us ever played. Heck, it was the first game I ever played. And we wanted to do our picks for the top 5 hardest stars to get in Super Mario 64. Now, overall, this game is a relatively easy game, especially when you compare it to other 3D games, even of its time. However, when the levels get hard, they do get hard. So, John, you get to go first. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is Wing Mario Over the Rainbow.
Okay.
Because I think that while the wing cap controls are very good, the flaws in them are amplified 10,000 fold in this stage.
Fair enough. Not to mention, anytime that you miss your landing and fall, you don't just die, but you get sent to the very outside of the castle and have to climb all the way up to the castle to try again. So with that, my number 5 is the snowman's head, because of one thing: the snowman's breath. Now, the way you're supposed to do this, oh, and I've got a picture to show with it. So the way that you are supposed to do it is the snowman here will blow air that will knock you off this little icy bridge and knock your hat off. What you're supposed to do is wait until the penguin there gets in front of the snowman's mouth, blocking the stream of air so that you can slip past. And I have never been able to do this right on the first try. It's one of those things that seems really, really simple, but actually doing it is not the easiest thing. So, John, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is TikTok Clock 100 coins.
Okay.
Because TikTok Clock is a vertical level which you can fall at any point, of course, and it's very tightly built. So if you want to get the 100 coin star, you have to pretty much wander around the place looking for coins, which is not, TikTok Clock is not a level meant to be explored.
I agree. And funnily enough, my number 4 pick also comes from TikTok Clock, and that is Stomp on the Thwomp. Now, what you're seeing here in this picture is the very top of the level, the very end, because this star is at the very top of the level, and as John said, it's a vertical level and you can die at any time, and there's very little room to work with to run and jump. And the best strategy that I can recommend with this, so those that know TikTok Clock know that the painting you enter is the actual face of the clock, and the minute hand is moving. And you can enter with the minute hand pointing at different numbers, either the 12 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, or the 9 o'clock. If you go in the 12 o'clock, all the gears in the clock are frozen. If you go in at the 9 o'clock, everything's moving really fast. If you go in at the 6 o'clock, everything's moving really random. And if you go in at the 3 o'clock, everything's moving slow. Now, you have to go in at either the 9 or the 3. If you go in at 12 or 6, you won't get this star done. My strategy is always to go in at 3 and let the gears move slow, just so you can have that little bit of extra time to really think about what you're going to do. So with that, John, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is the Pit and the Pendulums, once again from TikTok Clock, because it's a little out of the way, and I'll admit I had to use a guide to figure out where it was. And those pendulums, if you were dumb enough to put it on a moving speed, they can just knock you off and mess up your day. But one thing that doesn't make it the hardest is well, there's stuff above it, and I discovered a trick where if you side flip into a wall jump from the top of the cage star, you can skip all that.
I actually didn't know that. You'll have to show me that next time you come over.
Oh, don't worry, I will.
Okay. All right. My number 3 is tricky triangles. And here's the picture. Now, you know that if you've played this game, that in certain areas of almost each level, there's this one really big purple button that you can step on the floor. And most of the time, it brings up these random boxes that you can use to climb on. There's another one of these buttons here in this level, Rainbow Ride, which we'll talk about that one again later. But instead, it makes these triangles go from point up to point down so that you can use them as platforms. But these are some incredibly hard and precise jumps that you have to make within a time limit. And in fact, I was just playing this star today, and it took me like 8 different tries to get it right, and I was just barely making it by the skin of my teeth when I played through it earlier. So with that, John, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Rainbow Ride 100 coins.
Okay.
Because Rainbow Ride is a very, very big level with a lot of stuff going on, for lack of a better term. And you have to, same reason for TikTok Clock, you have to run around all this nonsense, ride the carpets, which take a really long time, and do a whole bunch of stuff to get 100 coins. And since the level's so big, the coins are really spread out.
Yes, they
Also,
are.
it doesn't help that if you miss a wall jump in that blue coin section, you're gonna fail.
Yeah, you're right. All right, number 2 for me is Hazy Maze Cave, 100 coins. And this right here, this room that you're seeing is the biggest reason why I say that this is the hardest, well, the second hardest star for me. Because this is another 100 coin star that you need to get the blue coins on, as many as you can. And what's confusing about this one, it's not hard, it's confusing, where you have that blue box on the floor that you're supposed to stomp so that the blue coins appear. But the blue coin box is in the middle of like 3 different rooms, and you can choose which direction to go in, and it's not clear right off the bat where these coins are. In fact, I want to say I was playing through this star yesterday and had to completely restart after going the wrong way because I knew I wasn't going to complete this level without those 100 coins. And it's not as bad as Rainbow Ride, but this is another pretty spread out level where you do have the danger of falling or suffocating from the toxic gas. So yeah, Hazy Maze Cave 100 coins is my number 2. So John, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is Stomp on the Thwomp.
Okay.
Because it is unclear which way to go. You have to do some really precise jumps to get to the top. And you have to, like you said, enter at 9 or 3. And it's just a gauntlet to get to the top of TikTok Clock.
I agree, definitely. So you said what my number 4 was, and what I have for number 1, you've already said, I want to say, for your number 3. Rainbow Ride 100 coins. And for all the same reasons that John has already said, this is a very, very spread out level. In fact, I want to say that this is the biggest level as far as total space that you have to traverse. But this also, wouldn't you say, John, that this is the level with the least amount of space to actually stand on? That sound about right?
Yeah, The bomb battlefield is probably the biggest in land that you can actually walk on, but this is the biggest, but a lot of that area is taken up by bottomless pits.
Exactly. So one wrong move and you're going to fall and die in this level. And as John already mentioned before, the coins are very, very spread out. So you have to constantly go back and forth. And it takes time because the main way of getting around is riding on these really slow moving carpets. And of course, the blue coin switch, if you don't get all of those, you're not getting this star done. So with all of that, that was our 100 coin. That was our each of our picks for our top 5 hardest stars to get in Super Mario 64. Let us know in the comments, of course, what you guys think, and hey, tell us whether or not we're blowing these stars out of proportion and that you think they're easy. And of course, make sure to leave a comment saying what stars in Super Mario 64 you think are the hardest. Real quick before we go, Jonathan, because I'm guessing you recently played this on 3D All Stars like I did. You want to do this sort of video again for Sunshine and Galaxy?
You bet. I
All
just
right.
need to finish Sunshine.
Me too. I ain't even started yet. Well, anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this video here. So make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And just remember, guys, the Force is family. See you guys later.